Ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet, I'm excited to be back. It's your host, Alex Koons, sitting here at Hot Tongue Pizza, the same place where I sat down with Marc Schechter of Square Pie Guys of San Francisco. We had a great conversation, a long conversation, a conversation about many things. We talk about Marc's history in sales and his 4-year stint in comedy and how that helped him develop a thick skin that you need for the restaurant industry. Marc might have said that his career in stand-up is over, but if you listen to the podcast, you can tell this dude's a funny guy. We talk about the humble beginnings, how he started with 2 Lloyd pans and after a wedding catapulted him into Warren Buffett levels of Detroit-style pizza making, taking over the streets of San Francisco. Marc and his partner opened up Square Pie Guys in 2019. They already have 3 units and are taking over cloud kitchens left and right, which is expanding their reach. We also talk about turning Yelp from a burden into a tool. I have known about Square Pie Guys for a long time. I've watched their journey. It's been super cool to become friends with Marc. I actually met him at the Pizza Expo last year. I'm friends with him on Instagram on at least 3 of his handles, but it sounds like he has about 15. Shout out BagelMan420, PizzaMan420, thesoftno.com. He goes by different names, but he's also at Pizza. Fuck Jerry's at Pizza account is run by Marc. He does a fabulous job. We talk a little bit about that. Marc gives us some pointers about working the algorithm and staying consistent. Talk about Griffin Baker, Pizza Fart, great pizza accounts that are growing their reach day by day by staying consistent and posting quality stuff. Talk about how to get featured on @Pizza that has 1 million followers. That is a hell of a reach. It was a fantastic time. I'm pretty sure we started another band, which was appropriate because he was wearing a boxcar shirt. Shout out Odie. Love you, my dog. Anyways, The Soft No is going on tour with Charlie Fridays this summer. Get ready. We're doing a fucking West Coast tour. It's going to be wild. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. And if it's an Apple pod, go ahead, give us a little message. Maybe a 1-2 sentence, man, this is a great pod. I learned so much, or whatever it is, 5 stars. We appreciate it. It really helps the podcast. That's a no cap. Those are facts. Take flight. What else are the kids saying? It really helps the podcast. Anyways, Marc, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for stopping by while you were in town. Much love. Chris Cornell, audio slave forever. Don't anyone ever tell another person what's cool and what's not, because music is love. Love is love. Pizza is love. Enjoy this episode. All right, Marc. Your IG name is PizzaMan420, so what I want to know is how much weed do you smoke?
This guy's so serious. I wish I was high right now. Not as much as I used to. Actually, the real origin story of that is I used to be a huge stoner, and until probably like 2013, I was like, fuck Instagram. Like, I don't need an Instagram. Everyone who has Instagram is like, I don't care about your like little edited pictures. You're weird, you know? But my ex, her whole family was on it, and wherever we would go, they were like, you don't have Instagram? And I was like getting trolled by like 50-year-old ladies. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm a Jew, chubby Jew from New York. So I grabbed BagelMan420. So when I started making pizza, it was just like a natural extension. And the guy that, I'm actually PizzaMan_420. So the guy who has PizzaMan420 has like 1 follower and does not respond to DMs, so.
Because you definitely tried to buy that off him, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
So wait, did you change from Bagelman to...
No, Bagelman exists. Bagelman's private. That's like my...
That's your troll account.
No, that's my like my cat goes on there, my fiance, like, that's like, I'm a normal person, except I have a funny name. That's like my personal shit.
We'll get into this. How many Instagrams do you have?
I think I have like 7. I have like all these dumb, I have like pepperoni fans.
Oh my God.
I got Round Pie Guys.
Okay.
I got Square Pizza Bites, which I made like 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, we'll just only post reels here. But then they were like, the whole thing's reels now. So.
Yeah. Troll Pie Guys?
No Troll Pie Guys, no. I actually actively have to, like, there are moments when I'll see, whatever, a normal, like, toxic as fuck Instagram thing, and I'll be about, even from Pizza Man or even from Bagel Man, I'll be like, I'm gonna leave a funny comment. I'm like, oh wow, someone took this out of context. And then I'm like, never mind. And I'm like, I don't physically throw my phone, but in my head I'm like, fuck, you can't say shit anymore. You can't have fun. It used to be fun.
Yeah, there's always people that are gonna ruin the fun for everyone.
Yes, and those are the people I really want to troll because they don't get it. Yeah, but I got shit to protect.
Yeah, you got better things to do. What about URLs? Do you buy URLs?
This is a good question.
I'm in the URL game.
Yeah, me too. So you talked to Matt from Tribute Pizza?
Not yet. I've met Matt, but I'm trying to get him on this pod.
Hit Matt up about his URL game. He has a whole plethora works. I love it. Plethora of URLs. I have I own something called oldjewishgrandma.com, which is not like,
bro, that sounds like something you'd look up like when you guys got 56K modems going on. It's like, what's that?
Literally, Alex,
that's like
as I revealed that information, I was like, that sounds like porn. It's not porn. I just thought it would be, I used to do comedy. So I just thought of it as this funny thing where I could have this persona of like this old Jewish grandma. Old Jewish grandmas are like very specific to like East Coast Jews, maybe as a funny thing.
Yeah.
Didn't have the broad appeal to make me that top tier comic that I thought I could be one day, but I own that.
Okay.
I own drivefastcars.com, which is a pretty cool one. It's like got some good value on GoDaddy.
Okay.
But no one wants to buy it.
All right. What's that valued at?
I think it's like $5K.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I think I don't know, probably bought it for $100. I have something called thesoftno.com, which also is not a porn either. It's
all of these are sounding like
in hindsight,
really
bro.
sus,
yeah,
dude.
Suckfatdicks.com,
yeah, like,
dude. I got that.
You're like, I also own
not porn. Though.
I also own Lemon Party.
yeah. No. I used to do my previous career with like software sales, like cold call. Like I essentially worked for Yelp. I didn't work for Yelp, but like that guy, that was me. And so the way people would say no to you, like if you're trying to sell them something, people would, as a salesperson, people don't have a ton of empathy for salespeople, but we're people.
Yeah.
People would string you along like, oh yeah, I'll buy next quarter. It's like, so I kind of always envisioned, that was like the soft no of like, how many different ways can someone be so uncomfortable just telling you to fuck off?
Yeah. Before
you have to give up as a salesperson.
Yeah.
While your boss is like, don't quit on that lead, man. Those people are interested. So it's like the soft no, Needless to say, none of these websites have any content on them. They're just things I own.
The soft no sounds like somebody that
doesn't sound good, man.
That would like open up for Tame Impala.
Interesting. Should we make it a band?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's make it a band.
Me and Odie started a band, dude. Charlie Fridays last time.
Oh yeah,
from Boxcar. So
is that you started a band?
We started a band called Charlie Fridays.
But no,
Charlie Fridays.
Who's that guy? That was
Charlie Friday?
Yeah.
He was like selling them vegan cheese in an alley in Portland.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's start the podcast.
That was on the podcast. Bro, when are the bloopers coming out? I'm the owner of a couple porn websites. Yes. Nice to meet you.
Yes, and you smoke mad dank. Yeah. This is Pizza Man, Bagel Man 420.
What's up?
Looks like my beer order just got here, so we're gonna have to cut at some point. But
sick, dude.
Why pizza? And who was the major influence in crafting the pie that you now make today?
I just love. I mean, I grew up in New York, so like pizza is the sort of go-to food. Pizza and bagels.
In New York, you say this is a popular thing.
You've heard of New York?
Yes.
You guys heard? No. Yeah, just pizzerias, man. I don't know. I love like greasy takeout. I love like good Mexican food. But just like it always came back to like, I want that slice of pizza. And I think the classic like childhood nostalgia. I used to play ice hockey, so I'd come home from like ice hockey, and my mom would have the fucking pie sitting there, and I have this weird thing where like they'd probably order it for my whole family like 2 hours before. But there's one place in my neighborhood, 2 hours resting, the cheese and sauce would congeal into this like orange grease, and I was like, don't heat it up. Like I want it like that. So I don't know. It just kind of always spoke to me. And then went to college in Florida, and I was like, I need to find good pizza, and I like went on this hunt to find like the best pizza I possibly could down there, and found this little hole in the wall, and told all my friends like, yo, you got to go to this spot. So I just kind of became that guy of like, oh, what city are you in? Yeah, go to this spot. And then, of course, IG and Facebook, you could look at spots and be like, I can see that that's good pizza, in this city or that city. So, and who taught me, or what was the question again? Sorry.
Well, it's like, is there a major influence in your
Oh.
development of like your pizza slice?
Not just being from New York. I think,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Or just like whatever, being fat.
Just like being from New York,
A fat New Yorker
I don't know
guy.
if everyone knows this, but if you are born in New York, you come out of the womb and you just know pizza. You just know how to cook it. You know what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
Like you're like fucking boss baby.
Yeah.
You're just on those kids now. They're just pizza peel uni. They're ambassadors.
I know you hate that. I want to say hate, but I've seen your TikToks.
Oh no, I don't hate. I'm just saying, like, man, I wish we had something out here out here west like that. We all have to use the internet.
CPK.
Yeah,
You guys put Thai food on pizza. Come on.
and it's fucking fire.
Yeah.
That Chinese chicken salad,
Mm-hmm.
and then the genius that's like, let's fucking put that on some bread.
Yeah. Why not?
That's called ingenuity. That's what we have out here. You live close to Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Innovators.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, I mean
Rule breakers.
yeah. Pineapple. But I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily. I know what you're saying, and I know I just said it, but just you have good pizza. You have people who even the real point is whether it was me thinking it, people are telling you all the time like the pizza here is the best and the water, like that. You are indoctrinated with that. So again, whether you personally embody that in that way, someone's telling you that, so you can't really avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, I had one of my best friends, my best man at my wedding, shout out, Michael Fiore.
What's up?
I talked to him. I'm like, yo, dude, like, can you tell me like why pizza on the East Coast is better?
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think that it had anything to do with like being indoctrinated as a young child? Like your uncle, your aunt, your mom, your dad's always saying like, no, this place is the best. This place is the best. We got the best, blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously, I've been to New York, right?
Really?
I've been there.
Wow.
I've been there twice in my life.
Damn, dude.
And both times, every fucking place I went into, I didn't have to like look on Google or get on my phone. Like I was like, it was like under a bridge in Brooklyn, and I had a slice of fucking tomato pie, and I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So
You mean the Brooklyn Bridge?
is that a bridge under a Brooklyn Bridge? I don't know. I'm from out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have bridges. We just have a lot of freeway.
You got like freeways underneath the freeway is a ton. It's kind of a bridge. You know what I mean? Where people,
Isn't it called an overpass?
it's a bridge of sorts.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm saying like
you can get some shit there. I don't want. I wouldn't go there.
I get it. I get the whole thing.
There's just so many.
I
There's
just
so
like
many.
it's concentrated.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Well,
You can't do that in Los Angeles though. You
No.
can't go into every shop and like there's a fair amount of trash out here.
Yeah, I think look, people now that pizza has had like a renaissance, so whatever you want to call it, the proliferation, the proliferation of pizza. It's huge, right? And everyone's like, yeah, there's so many shitty places in New York. That's true, but I feel like the median level or like the sort of upper floor, if this is the most garbage pizza in New York, like the third most garbage pizza in New York might be the best pizza in bumblefuck America. You know what I mean? Town.
Yeah.
Like, and wherever you go in New York, in the tri-state area, I'd say Connecticut, New Jersey, New York,
Yeah.
in the suburbs, there's like 15 Michael Fiore's and his uncle and his father and their grandpa, and they own like 10 pizzerias. And like every block is like, you'll have like Napoli's and Gino's and Donetta and whatever, it's like, you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
It's just like it's second nature to be like, what do you want? You got 50 kids to feed?
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah. I mean,
Was it like, I mean, is it a trope to say like, was that tacos here? Like, what was it when you were like playing soccer or like Little League? Was it always, was it round table? Was it like, what was it? Was it like, was it pizza here, but just like not as cool? I don't know.
No, pizza's always been cool.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
sorry,
mean?
sorry,
Like,
sorry.
I think pizza has always just been like the coolest fucking food. But I mean, like, really, like in the 90s, I'll date myself. Like,
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut and
Yeah.
fucking Pizza Hut was pretty sick. Like,
Yeah.
you get your book it card or like whatever that was where you read the shit and you get the sticker and then you get your own pan pizza. Like, man, that shit was fire.
True. I think most East Coasters don't have that experience. They have no association with any of that.
Yeah, pizza.
Like our spot, you get a slice, and the placemat was a map of Italy, and you could color on it.
Yeah,
that's it.
No. Costco was like really big for me growing up. Little Caesars. There was a lot of Greek pizzerias.
Yeah.
That were like.
You talked to Sirhan?
Mm-mm.
You know Sirhan?
Mm-mm.
Sirhan is I can't believe you haven't crossed paths with him at any of the conferences. Sirhan's this dude. He's from Astoria, Queens. His family owned like they're called Boston Pizza of New York, but like that New England Greek style pan pizza, which I think what you're referring to.
Yeah, where like the like toppings are on the bottom and the cheese is on top, and like the crust is a little
thicker.
Yeah.
But like I mean,
there's a place.
It gets deep.
What was it? A place called Spiro's. Anyways,
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah,
I'm like I am not an elitist in any way, and anyone who says like I don't eat that shit or that shit's fucking trash, it's like.
God, I hate that.
Come on,
man.
Like,
I don't like that.
There's a time and a place for everything. You know what? I was just talking about this to Tiffany this morning about like the less I judge, the older I've always been kind of judgmental. You know what I mean? Like I think everyone kind of judges things right away. We were talking about Taylor Swift. I was just saying like, nah, fuck Taylor Swift. Like I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've been listening to Taylor Swift for the past 2 weeks, like just in my car every time I get in there. And it's like every time I judge something, I eat my words because it's like I never really get to experience it because you judge it right away. And it's if you can't find the good in everything, then you're missing out on a lot of things that are great in life.
Very well said. I think it's a sad facet of modern society that most people literally open their phone, do no research or forget research, have no firsthand experience with the thing they're judging, and then jump on either someone else's opinion that they believe or like or whatever, they follow, they're influenced by, and they say that place is trash or whatever. Forget pizza, everything. Yeah. It's a really good point. I wish more people had that perspective because, like, why do we do that? Why is it cool to be like, fuck X?
It's bizarre. I watched an interview where Pharrell interviews who's the artist Koons, not just because he has my name. He does like the blow up dolls. He says to Pharrell, it's like I don't ever judge anything. Yeah, it's Jeff Koons. I don't judge anything, and doing that allows me to have endless possibilities everywhere. Yeah, and so he's like, if you judge something, you take it out of play. 100%. And so like. You limit your life by judging anything. Yeah. And whether it be something you don't agree with or whatever, you draw a line and you say, that's not for me. And I think that like, that just is no way to live. And it also, it drives division and it drives hatred. And it's just man. Like,
it's fucking sad. So much of like human suffering comes down to like prejudging or early judgment or like everything going on in the world specifically right now. So much about just like an idea that's been passed down. People people don't go to like where, whatever's gone on in the Middle East. People aren't going to these places and they're just like, fuck, you die. It's like, what are we doing? Yeah. Why?
I know.
It's sad.
I think it is really sad. Yeah. And it all starts with pizza.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad you did that. Part.
So anyways, let's start the podcast.
That's my favorite. That's your like get her done on the pie to pie. You're like, anyway, we're gonna start now. We haven't started yet.
Get her done. That's actually new to this episode. You opened up
Hold on, can we start? That's right.
Yeah. You opened up Square Pie Guys in 2019, right?
Correct.
Sometimes I got to make sure my facts are right. You have 3 brick and mortars, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Oakland.
Yep.
So how was that growth trajectory? And was the plan to grow like straight out the gate when you opened the first store?
Yeah, we were talking a little before this, but it was, but me personally, I kind of like my own individual pizza story. I was pretty open-minded and I was just like, I love making pizza. I love feeding people. Like I kind of didn't necessarily know what I was sort of agreeing to when we said we were going to scale this thing or make a scalable concept. But yeah, from day one, the agreement was there. Like I said, yes, let's do that. I kind of looked into the future and was like, cool, it'd be cool to have 3, 4, 5. Like that sounds cool. Like I'm achieving something. But I think the decision making behind that for me was more like, it'll prove something to like anyone who doubted me, or like it'll fulfill the chip on my shoulder to go scale this thing. Now that I've done it, it's been really cool and like a ton of learning. But fuck yeah, it's really hard. I don't know, like it's we did it quick. We got lucky. Some like interesting timing, obviously, with the pandemic, kind of helped us a bit because it opened up opportunities. You got those like, we were making good money from the first spot. We had a good deal with the delivery apps that we negotiated very well. We got that PPP money. We found a second gen spot, like rolled that into that. Like we kind of had a couple like, Plinko chips fell the right hole. You know what I mean? Like it worked out really well. Now we got to 3 and a bunch of shit has happened at Square Pie Guys. And we're assessing and trying to figure out what we're going to, the goal is to keep growing. So I'm looking in like Walnut Creek, which is like a suburb of Oakland now, and looking here, like trying to prove that this concept has legs in other cities too. So yeah.
Well, to piggyback off of that, I have a quote here that says, Square Pie Guys is the next great American pizza chain.
Where'd you get that from?
Well, I got that from you.
Oh, really?
From the PMQ article. Maybe, was that maybe your partner?
Mm-hmm. I think he threw me a bone and was like, you want to take that one? But that was always his, like, he was
That's what he was driving.
Yeah, he had that whole thing in his head for sure. And I like it's a really lofty and cool thing to say. Are American pizza chains great is a different sort of slice, or like a secondary question I have on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Think they can be great for their employees in some ways, and like amazing opportunities to build something lasting and innovative. Like if you look at Domino's, like I have a ton of respect for Domino's and their tech, and they fought the good fight for years and years, kept delivery drivers in house. Like that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
That stuff sounds cool.
Yeah.
Having this idea that like your pizza's hot trash is not cool, and that's sort of associated with the like great American pizza chain. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess like,
you know what I mean?
I get, yeah. But if you were to compare Square Pie Guys to like a Shakey's, where it's like, or like old school Pizza Huts that like had dine-in, and that like they had the huts, and they had cool video games and the salad bar, like
round table now.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think it's great? I read the quote and you have design, well-designed shops.
Yeah.
You have, the branding, like I could see them being in a lot of cities.
Yeah, me too. That part I agree with.
And a great American pizza chain could be 15 stores.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Prime Pizza has 7 stores. They'll probably have fucking 15.
Those guys are amazing.
You could call that a great American pizza chain. How many units do you have to be a chain?
I don't know. I think that too, like press would be like a local chain. I don't know. I guess a chain has 2 links. Am I right?
You are already a chain.
Wow.
You're a great American pizza chain.
Thank you.
I don't know. I guess it's like we get into our head a little bit, probably more so about that word.
Yeah. Or chain. I mean, yeah. Or that whole sentence, I think definitely.
You hate it.
I kind of do.
He fucking hates it.
I kind of do. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm annoyed. Like it's a great quote, right? Like if you just like Marc Schechter said this, you're like, wow, that guy's smart, or but like that doesn't really embody what I think we're trying to do with Square Pie Guys. I want to bring like amazing pizza to as many places as I can, and like lead with the pizza.
Yeah.
And we're 5 years in from the Popup, and we're still changing the dough, and like not in a way that's like, I'm not like in there every day, like, mixing 17 flours and creating a pouliche, and like, I'm not that, you can't do that at scale. At least I haven't figured out how to do that at scale.
No.
It's really hard. But what I mean is we're just like tweaking. We just changed our flour this year to a central milling product. We're looking now. All our pies are from raw. And
What's central milling? What's central milling?
That's a flour.
No, I mean what?
Oh, which
what
one?
Bag?
Oh, red rose.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. I'm not the organic stuff. I mean, but it's an American grown wheat.
It's a motherfucking American.
Yeah.
Ain't no Caputo.
No. Yeah. Although that's a whole funny thing. The whole Italian flour is like. There's a lot of you talk to your sales reps. There's a lot of stuff. This podcast is sponsored by Caputo. Right?
Let's see how many people we can piss off in this podcast.
Have we pissed off yet?
No one yet.
Yeah.
That's why I said
you grow your own tomatoes, right?
I told you out back. Yeah, we get our water from fucking LA River.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. We just run it through a Brita.
Smart.
Yeah, it's
clever.
Fucking beautiful.
System of like 40 Britas.
Great. Yeah. Were you going to talk shit on Italian flour being not from Italy?
Yeah. So yes, basically, yes.
They know how to process it very well.
Yes.
But I don't think
the wheat.
The wheat is actually, the climate there is great for growing it.
I mean, that's an interesting bit of a misnomer, right? That I think we also were indoctrinated with growing up. Like, this imported from Italy. San Marzano tomatoes. It's like, bro, we got all this good shit here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. I mean, a Jersey tomato also just is delicious.
Yeah. Anyway,
the Great Plains.
Great
You
Plains.
know what I'm saying?
America. Canadian wheat too, and cows.
Also, another quote from Tiffany this morning, just because we're talking about America. She said, if you hate Taylor Swift, you hate America. And I got to agree.
Yeah. People do hate America.
And
they haven't experienced it.
Don't hate.
Because then once you experience it, you can hate it. It's pretty hard to hear, but relative. Anyway, we got an...
Okay, so Square Pies, guys, is the next American pizza chain.
Yeah, thanks. Let's put it open and shut.
Why Detroit style pizza?
I think, Detroit style pizza or like pan pizzas, they have like the textures of a lot of, like if you like broke down a normal slice, you have like your eggshelly, crunchy crust, you have that nice crumb, you're getting that cheesy, chewy tomato conglomeration thing going on. I feel like the pan pizza, or especially like a Detroit style, packs that all into one bite. That's kind of what I love about it. You get the crunch from the bottom, you get the nice crumb, you get the cheese edge. Like, instead of eating your way to that, you just have it every bite.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always like the first kind of like, damn, this is, way back in the Long Island days, the Sicilian slice or like the grandma slice. That's always what I sort of loved. It was a treat to have those.
Yeah.
You have your Old Faithful, just your plain cheese slice. That's what your go-to is. But it was a treat to be like, I'm gonna splurge on the corner Sicilian today. So that just always resonated with me. But then San Francisco, I did my own pop-ups for a bit before Square Pie Guys was doing like, I guess you'd call it it wasn't like Neapolitan. It was more just like whatever, new wavy pizza, like multiple flours, pre-ferment, crispy bake. So but I didn't know what else to call it at the time other than like Neapolitan, but something in that ilk of like, whatever, round pies. And the places I worked at, all round pies, like 12, 14 inches. No one in San Francisco was doing like a good square, like period. Like just Tony's did it, but you got to go to Tony's and wait in line to sit there, or go to his slice house, which is, whatever. Like, I won't say too much. Tony, I like it. Anyway.
Yeah, what do you think about Tony G? Tony G.
Tony Gemignani, he's a cool dude. He's always been cool to me. I haven't had that many interactions. There's been some funny arcs with him when we were a Popup. There were some moments where he was like, "Who are you guys?" But then we'd see in the press that he knew who we were. I don't know. It was kind of strange. But now he invited me to his pizza festival. He didn't invite Square Pie Guys, but he invited me to cook in a guest oven. That was nice. And then I am doing a pizza tour with Steve Dolinsky, and we're going to Capo's. Saw
that on LinkedIn this morning.
Seriously?
Yeah, I got on the old LinkedIn. I have 3 connections, so if you're listening out there, connect with me.
Bro,
I sent
LinkedIn
you a
could be
connect, I think
really,
that's what
thank
it's called.
you. Once I stopped doing like sales, I was like, fuck, like I'm never going on LinkedIn again. I probably should for like some business purposes and stuff, but like
I think that's where it's all the action is.
That is the worst social media site.
Nah, that's where it's all going down.
Yeah.
That's
You don't
where
post your like daily reflections or like your unsolicited advice to people on there every day?
No, I mean I put that everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that goes
not
on
just LinkedIn.
all channels. Yeah.
That's why you're fucking up on social media. That's just for LinkedIn.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
No problem.
consultation.
Yeah, of course.
Steve Dolinsky has a lot of followers there
Really?
on the old LinkedIn.
How many?
Like 5,000? That's a lot to me.
Yeah, that's
When you
pretty
only have
solid.
3. Anyways, you're doing sick stuff with Steve Dolinsky. Is that in Chicago?
It's in San Francisco, but we're going to Capos. So like, Tony, thank you, Tony. You're in this mic. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
Is he going to be there?
No, he's doing something with the Warriors that day. Yeah.
I would love to talk to that guy.
You should. You really should.
He seems like you know what I like about, I've never had his pizza, but what I like about Tony G is he just seems like a really good businessman.
He definitely is. I would also say that like, whatever you want to say about him, and he loves pizza. Like you can't take that away from that guy. Like he fucking loves pizza. And he's
Oh, you can tell.
yeah.
I mean,
you can tell.
You can tell. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like,
He wrote the Pizza Bible.
Yeah, and that book was pivotal in some of like my development in recipes. And
Same.
he is the face of pizza today. And I mean, like people kind of worship him over there in Vegas. I mean, when you go out there,
even
for a reason,
nationally too, like all the people like starting like whatever. I don't want to create a trope or throw anyone under the bus or make someone feel bad, but like I think there's this trope of like at Pizza Expo of like the 40, 50-year-old guy who's like career switching and he wants to open his first shop. They all are like, Tony, please, or they buy his franchise. But like that guy loves Tony hardcore. They like skipped looking on Instagram or like DMing you or me or anybody like, they're just like, Tony, teach me everything.
Yeah, well, I've told so many people to watch this movie. Have you seen Pizza the movie?
I haven't yet. I know that Bruce had a screening of it.
I told Bruce about that movie.
Yeah.
Last year at the Pizza Tomorrow Summit.
Yeah.
And he went
Great
and watched
name, by
it.
the way.
It is.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
Is it Tony's like?
It is the origin story of like why PMQ and Pizza Today have beef, and then like Tony's early days on the U.S. pizza team, and then switching over to World Pizza Champions and making that a team. If you guys are into any of the Expo drama, if you are a true pizza nerd,
Bro, what is our industry? Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
I'm telling you, it was entertaining. My wife would probably be like, why the fuck are you watching that? Like, what is this? Because Tony's doing like fucking kung fu and shit. And like they had a Matrix routine where like he was Neo and they're flipping the pie.
This is what I'm saying though. Like, I think I don't want to say the problem, but the thing with Tony is I don't really know the guy that well. And I don't want to piss him off because he's been nice to me, but I can hear all this. I can see that he hasn't actually like maybe evolved that much from that. Like he still thinks that is the moment. Like he still could pull the Matrix routine with the dough out. I assume you're talking about like dough spinning, but like dodging.
Yeah, acrobatics.
Yeah.
Dude. They had like Mr. Smith's and he was Neo. And
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like I think
sick,
there's a part of him that's like, I miss the good old does that make sense?
Those were the good old days, man.
Yeah. But he created the opportunity for us to be kind of sitting here in a way. Is that
100%?
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. He's legitimately the OG of like making kind of pizza this very like cool thing.
Yeah. You got to hand it to him.
So shout out Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
I would love to have you on. You have fucking awesome hair too, dude.
I know. I think
you're a good looking guy.
I feel like he's keeping Ed Hardy in business.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like, I don't know.
Like soup?
What?
Like Hardy soup?
No, Ed Hardy.
Oh, dude, you're throwing shade. I'm trying to be nice, and you're just constantly throwing shade.
This is my sense of humor. I don't really mean any harm.
Plus, also, Ed Hardy is like fucking back in a huge way.
Yeah, because of Tony.
Probably.
Yeah.
Tony started wearing them
Tony
again.
actually took Ed Hardy and spun him over his head, and then he landed like Rookie of the Year style, and then his brand came back. That's a true story.
I wish you would do that for my brand. All right.
Wait, can I say one?
Yes.
I want to say one like genuine. We're having fun, but we applied for this thing. What's it called? Pizza. Pizza Market Today or some website last year, Pizza Expo, and it's like, top pizza innovation, top emerging brand. It's a weird thing because it's like an award that
you paid for?
We don't pay for it. You just submit. You write.
I thought you had to pay for it.
No, you tell them why the Square Pie Guy should win that category.
Yeah.
And we did very well. We got nominated all the categories, and we were named number 2 in emerging brands. And obviously Tony was number 1. He's still emerging somehow. He hasn't emerged yet, but he's number 1. The point being, after the award ceremony, I got teared up because the Pizza Bible really did teach me pretty much it started me on the recipes and got me into it. And I shook the dude's hand. I was like, man, I wouldn't be here without you. So all the fun aside, he's the guy.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Here's another quote, and hopefully this is from you. I'd need to buy at least 20 to 30 pans, and it'd be very expensive. Without hesitation, they told me to include the cost of the pans in my catering quote. So this is you were selling pizza, and somebody tried the pizza for their wedding, and they were like, "Yo, fucking, we want you to come out here and do that." And then you said, I'm going to need 20 or 30 pans. And without hesitation, they said, put it in the quote.
Yeah.
So
that's true. That's me. That's a real story.
That happened. That was you.
Yeah. And then after that, I said, and we're going to open America's next great. Yeah. And then we all kissed.
That's tight. Like a triple kiss, on Love Island style. We're not married yet.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what happened.
Then it was a crazy night.
No, our pop-up, Square Pie Guys was at this place called Vinyl. But before that, I was doing the Pizza Man 420 pop-up, which was not infused, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, sorry. The real story behind Pizza Man 420.
Blaze it, Hammy.
Give me one more. Come on, let's go.
Blaze it. You smoking out loud. That backwoods.
Hell yeah, dude. What are we talking about? Anyway, so there was an infused, my first big pizza party. The moment I kind of knew I wanted to get into pizza, more than just making it for some friends, is I threw a 420 party in 2016. Yeah. Yeah. And I took olive oil and I made weed infused olive oil. Mm-hmm. And then I cooked, I invited everyone over. The volcano was ripping, blunts are passing. Yeah. Exactly.
4-footer.
Yeah. Yep. 420, dude. And so we did that. And 30 people came in and out of my house in Berkeley that I lived in with my ex. Mm-hmm. And I just made pizza all day. And everyone's stoned. They're you need help and this. I was like, no, I'm having the day flew by. I was just vibing, making pizza. Mm-hmm. Everyone was happy with it. I was I'm a good boy. Nothing's you know what I mean? In the sense of whatever, in all seriousness, whatever emotional shit, I'm not good enough at my job. I don't make enough. I was all that went away. I was shit, everyone loves this thing I'm making. You know what I mean? It was rewarding. And then they're also drizzling weed oil, so it could have been that, but whatever, it's fine. 100%. It felt good for me. But 8 hours straight, just in one oven with a shitty pizza stone. Yeah, that's the real Pizza Man 420, because I was posting the pizzas on Bagel Man 420. Yeah, and I was I need something more specific. Yeah, So, but fast forward, that happens. I do these other pop-ups. I did this thing called Feastly. Blah blah blah. I worked for Pizza Hacker, and Pizza Hacker was you're so fucking green, and you can't work my ovens. Go run my little pop-up at this place called Vinyl Wine Bar. So he kind of threw me out there. He's I sort of don't care what happens here. And I don't want my good pizza guys running it. So you can run it. So that intro is what big part of the origin story. Thing. Yeah. Cause I got this opportunity to run. It was it's kind of like this Baker's Pride over here, but 4-deck. Yeah. And they just had that sitting on the countertop, no hood, super illegal pop-up. Sick. But I was just making 18-inch pizzas, putting holes in them every 5 seconds. My first night of service, I got my ass kicked. It was the guy that ran the bar hated me because the guy working that night, because he would be bro, everyone's pissed. I'm not gonna get any tips, But you just learn that trial by fire. So that all happened, and then 3 months in, I kind of got good at it, and people liked the food. And so one night, the owner comes in of the wine bar, and he's I just sold this wedding. People are gonna do the wedding in the wine bar. You got any pizza? I think they want to hire you. I was shit, I'm all sold out of my round pies. I have these 3 Lloyd pans. I was just fucking with Detroit style. And I was I can sell them. They can taste this if they're going to understand my topping combos, my sauces, how I do the cheese, whatever, try that. And they try it. They're this is so good. We want this for the wedding. We feel the small square slices are great for passing around or hors d'oeuvre style? Like, can you do it? And I said, that's where that quote came from, where we kissed, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the kiss?
Better than the pizza.
This kiss. Oh,
No,
man,
but yeah,
better than the pizza,
those
dude.
those dudes are awesome, actually. They said, like, no objection. They're like, cool, that's the cost. Because I guess, like, so I just got engaged, so they're planning a wedding.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But, like, okay, I get it now. I was like, $600 for like $600 plus like another G for the food. I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, that's a cheap fucking catering deal for 50 plus people. I'm like, cool, you know.
Well, I did the math. Wouldn't like wouldn't 30 pans be like $1,000?
Maybe.
Oh wait, you weren't doing 14 by 10.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, this is 2016. This is before the great pandemic pizza boom.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
And this metal shortage.
Man. Yeah, sure.
Also, I think I bought them from Sean Randazzo's site, the DetroitStylePizza.com.
Rest in peace.
I had to see. Yeah, truly, great guy.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
But amazing. Like he really put Detroit style on the map.
No doubt.
Sure. But I remember getting those, like seasoning them up.
Yeah.
Great pan, honestly.
Yeah.
But they bought them. Party was a hit. Everyone loved it. And then that's when I was like, oh shit, I can make a bunch of these. And those were the first Square Pie Guys pans. Like we did it when Danny and I decided to work together and came on board to that first pop-up.
Yeah.
We called it Square Pie Guys. I had Square Pie Guy.
Yeah.
I had Square Pie Guy as a solo handle because all my friends in New York, for some reason, would troll me on Pizza Man 420 in the comments. If I posted Square or Sicilian, they'd be like, what is this Square bullshit? Like, this looks like trash. Fuck. I was like, fine,
Yeah.
I'll make this Square Pie Guy.
Sounds like you have nice friends.
They are,
Yeah.
not intentionally.
Keeping you humble.
They did. They definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
What is that fucking trash?
To be honest, I know, like, I don't have kids. I know you have kids, but like today's day and age with kids, like bullying in school, like, yeah, it's bad. But like, there is something to say. This is going to sound so problematic, but there's like, you need people. I'll say it better. You need people to keep you humble. You really do. You need people to check you. And certainly my homies from New York know, like, not shy about checking each other.
Yeah.
But
I would say there's definitely a difference between like talking shit to your friend and like being an asshole at school, though.
that's true.
Yeah.
But we blurred the lines for sure. Like, I can't tell you, my one friend Mike, who's like one of my best friends to this day still, we would fucking like beat each other out. Like we were not nice to each other.
Yeah.
But there was somehow there was still, I don't know if it was the other like people in the group that like were like, you guys knock it off. They like came in and like parented us, or like we were not nice to each other, like, for sure. But it wasn't hatred. It was just like, I think we were both witty. So like we would troll each other, and we were still kids. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That one comment where you're like, okay, you can talk about whatever, my sister,
Yeah.
ha ha ha. Don't talk about my tits, like, what, like, fuck you, like, and I'd be like, you're ugly, like, you know what I mean? He'd be like, oh, you can't talk about that, But anyways,
Gives you thick skin.
it gives you thick skin,
Yeah.
which you need. So does sales, which I did. So does like stand up comedy, which it gives you thick skin. At the time, I was living in Astoria, Queens, with one of my buddies, and I just got like my first job out of college, and I just like, I love comedy, I love comics, and there's all this opportunity. So I took a class, and then I met one of the dudes in the class. The class is weird because you can't teach comedy. You just have like a stand-up who is whatever C level or D level, who's like trying to make an extra buck teaching this class. They give you some like ideas about how to write, but you have to go perform. So like most people in the class take it. At the end of the class, there's a show. You tell your friends and family, and then they're like, cool, I did stand up. Like, me and this other dude were like, fuck it, like, we're in New York City. We're going to go do every open mic. And that is the humbling experience. And what you're saying about like, converting trauma into pain, some like to the point about delivery, some people that are just like, they don't realize it, but they're up there alone, just like having a therapy session with themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like revealing themselves, and it's not at all funny. They're like, I'm on crack and I'm poor and my life sucks. Ha 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 ha. You're like, and everyone's like,
And everyone just, the only laughs you get are just probably being uncomfortable.
Yeah, but there's a couple folks actually that were sort of, I guess, whatever, same time as me, that are like now national commercials, comedy specials. Really cool to fucking see. It's like pretty epic for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. And I'm not like, oh, bro, like, give me a kickback, or you know what I mean? But it's like you see this person on TV. I'm like, damn, like I can hit them up. Like, great job,
Who's the best? Who's your favorite comic of all time?
Favorite comic of all time? Honestly, like, well, right now, I was just telling my other buddy recently, like, I can't watch comedy specials anymore because it's like you have to be there live. Like, I can't like sit and watch a special, but Shane Gillis's special that just came out.
Okay.
It was like the first time in like 4 years that I actually was like dying laughing watching a Netflix special. So I think he's super talented. I mean, I think Brian Regan, you know Brian Regan?
Mm-mm.
He's actually a clean comic, but I like Brian Regan, Pablo Francisco, like all those guys from like the early 2000s, like fucking hilarious. I mean, you know, Chappelle's incredible, of course. Bill Burr has his moments and was, I think a lot of these guys when they were smaller, I think they were a little better.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, I flew here. I just listened to the Pizza Pilgrims episode of Pie to Pie, so I was telling you, but it's kind of like, in a way, it's like this idea of scale. Like when comics get too big, I feel like they don't actually have to work as hard to like share their trauma. Like their audience already loves them, so they can just kind of mail it in a way.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a sweet spot when like the comics have like 4 stores and let's bring it back to pizza. You know what I mean? Like, But there's like this sweet spot in any comics career where they're like, they're hitting it. They're like big enough, but they are also still telling like real shit.
Yeah.
That's the moment for sure. But yeah, man, comedy was a fun journey, man, for sure.
So why the conveyor oven?
Make it easy for the team, honestly. Make it easier on us to operate, truly. Like, why would I?
Did you always foresee using one of those and not like a deck oven or anything?
Yeah.
Like it was always gonna be like, all right, it's gonna be a conveyor oven.
100%. Yeah.
I've never worked with one, but actually that's not true. My first pizza job had a conveyor oven, but I've heard that they are like actually exceptional for squares.
Because the pan is what is, you know, acting as the stone in that scenario, right? Like, but it's an oven, like it's not.
And you get enough bottom heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for it to get like a crisp bottom and nice caramelization.
Yes, and also we are what I was saying earlier. Remember earlier when we were talking about central milling and all that whole story?
No.
All right. Anyway.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. Tony was there. We're trying to move to par bakes because we don't par bake now.
And did you ever par bake?
No, I mean like
how would you par bake in a conveyor? Same way you would.
Yeah, just like in the morning, Odie does it. Just in the morning, you just run it through for.
Don't you? I have always par baked for consistency and like the more toppings you put on. Pizza, you don't get the correct rise, and then it gets fucked, and then it gets doughy in the middle. Yeah. You ever have those issues?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's why we're doing this. It's a lot of work at our volume right now.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's worth it.
How many pans do you have now at one of your restaurants?
Probably total across all 3, which includes we do par bake now for this because we also have these like licensed ghost kitchens. So we par bake for those, and the licensee buys the dough from us, the shells. I mean, so I don't know. I could be wildly off, but we could have something like 8,000 pans, something like that.
So the reason I couldn't get pans was because of Square Pie guys. Yeah. The metal shortage was your guys' fault.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Specific.
That is a fuck ton. Yeah. That is a lot of metal.
We got a lot.
That's heavy metal, man.
Nice.
Tell me about these. It's DoorDash Kitchens, right?
It's DoorDash Kitchens. Actually, DoorDash Kitchens is making our dough from scratch. So they are baking from raw. And they are like literally a mini Square Pie guys. This is a company called Local Kitchens, which buys par baked.
Local Kitchens. So you're doing Local Kitchens and you're doing DoorDash Kitchens.
Yes.
How many of you have 3 brick and mortars, but how many of these things are around?
7 now.
I saw iDrift fucking somewhere eating your pizza.
San Jose, yeah.
Oh, shout out iDrift. What's up, dude? What's good, though?
Yeah, what's good? What's good? That guy does have like he has like the nicest as I like gargle nicest voice. Like he's like it's so beautiful. Smooth on the mic.
Yeah, I mean he should start an R&B band.
True.
It's iDrift, baby. What was good enough?
Keep going.
I got nothing there.
Uni. Sorry.
Uni, Corto, Stanislaus too. We're making up some pizzas and we're putting in some. I don't know. These are my sponsors. All right.
Oh my God. Shout out to iDrift, dude.
iDrift,
Put
you're
that
the fucking best.
Send him
dude.
that clip, dude. He's gonna use that.
Stanislaus, Unis, Corto, too, selling out mailers, and I'm doing the do. All right.
I feel like, can I do my
yeah,
time?
do yours.
Okay. iDrift's always like, you ever be drinking olive oil and then it kills your whole family? Get Corto. that's like always the gist. He's like, I used to use this olive oil and then my house burned down. So then now I got Corto. Like that's always his vibe, isn't it?
My friend Ryan from Sanctuary Pizza, his family almost died too.
There was a terrible slip and fall on a subpar oil brand, but that doesn't happen with Corto. If you can spill your Corto on the floor, you won't slip or fall because the quality. Like that's always the vibe.
There will be no lawsuits. Oh shit!
It's true. Same thing with Stanislav. Have you asked this thing? Did we start?
I don't even know. So let's start the podcast.
Yeah,
Tell me
baby.
about the DoorDash kitchen thing. How did that happen? How much money do you make? How much and how much cash do you have to put in?
I mean that's really the beauty of those. So I think it's a pro and a con, right? There's some limitations on like how much they can sell. Although the DoorDash kitchen one, we're really like most optimistic about that because they do it. All our restaurants have a three stack belt. They have one stack of the wider belt, so it can do like 90 pizzas an hour. So that, in theory, if we can market it correct and get the volume there in San Jose, they could do like $2 million a year from that little like 500 square foot or less kitchen.
Okay,
so, yeah,
for sure.
That'd be great. Right now, they're not doing that. It just launched like a month ago, but that's kind of me knowing our throughput from the three stack. I'm like, you guys could do that. I won't go on the record and say, but they just pay us a percentage of the total sales, and we don't have to put anything into it other than we're like, here, our brand is licensed. That's the value to the deal. You know, like you get to use our brand, use our packaging, use our recipes, and honestly, they're amazing to work with. Like the quality there is insane. The guy that runs their culinary used to run these like huge commercial bakeries in Singapore.
Yeah.
So like when we went to teach them the dough recipe, and then I came back like a month later for the tasting, I was like, yo, his name's Yepe. I'm like, Yepe, like I think your dough's better than our dough. Like he's a master. It's fucking cool.
They start tweaking your shit.
Yeah.
It's
He's like, this is better. I'm
oh
like,
my
well,
God.
fuck. But no.
Well, that's good to hear. That's positive.
It is positive. I think local kitchens, little different concept. They have smaller footprint spaces. They kind of like convert these old whatever, like Starbuckses and Taco Bells into like 8. They're not stalls. There's no walls, but like each station on the line is a different concept, and those are cooked in like a turbo chef oven. So that took like 6 months of R&D, us working with them to kind of get to a product that we liked, and that's the par baked version of Square Pie Guys. But that process was like, I was like, oh shit, like if we did this in our ovens, our pizza would actually be better. We wouldn't have those.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I still haven't figured out is create your own pizza. We like actively try to disincentivize customers from ordering create your own by making the toppings, each topping like more, like we have pies in our menu that have 6 toppings and it's cheaper to get that one.
Yeah.
But people, no matter what we do, people either just don't care or don't look, whatever. They want to create their own. So, but if someone loads up a create your own, those pies come out like shit.
Yep.
And it kills me. And I just sort of accept it as something that we'll figure out later, you know?
Yeah.
But hopefully par bakes
should definitely help that.
Yeah.
You're still going to serve them a bread bowl, but that's what people want.
Yeah. Well, I think the hard thing, it's hard to like, I don't know if you figured this out, but like if someone orders whatever, 6 vegetables that are not super like moist, like wet or moist, that's cool. But if you do like the mushrooms and the olives and whatever, and it weighs it down, like how do I train my team to be like, hey, when this specific set of create your own toppings come in, use the 1 ounce scoop. But when this one comes in, use the 2.
No, you can't.
It's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to figure that out.
You know what I think the best thing to do there is just you cap it.
That's what we do now.
Yeah.
But then
I think
the flip side of it is people are like, I paid all this money and we didn't get enough toppings, you know?
Well, I'm just saying, like, cap it. Like, I think I want to say Sean at Secret Pizza, like, it's like a 3-topping maximum. So then, like, 3 toppings, you can go hard on 3 toppings. And I don't know. Sometimes people don't know what's good for them, and you have to let them know what's good for them.
I agree. Yeah.
You've worked with PR, like a PR firm early in SPG, right?
Yes, it wasn't a firm; it was like a friend in PR.
Oh,
I guess it was a very small firm, but we've also worked with a bigger firm too. So I got some perspective on it for you.
Well, great. Can you give me a rundown on what exactly the PR friend / firm did for you, and would you recommend it to other people?
I would. I think it's important to know why you're doing it. And actually, in the very beginning, when we opened, Danny was the one who was like, "Yo, we got to get the PR." Our friend Carolyn, who like worked for a small firm, we got to work with her. And I was like, "No, our RG's fire. Like people are gonna come, you know." And he's like, "No," that's not enough. And what it did was whatever success and momentum we had already built with our pop-up, just word of mouth and whatnot, it amplified that in a big way, right? Because then people get to write a story in the Eater SF and the Chronicle, and they just put you out there, and especially when you're opening a new place, you know, again, similar to this convo we just had about Pizza Expo, like you do it once and you kind of look back and you're like, now I know how to do it, or like that's maybe a little cheesy. The first time you get that article, you're like, wow, this is amazing. And I guess all the press is amazing. I'm trying not to sound like such a jaded prick right now, but like sometimes when you see Square Pie guys and like top 25 pizza in San Francisco, you're like, cool, that list came out 4 years ago. You just like change one word on it and you republish it. Like that's not journalism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all this to say that it definitely helps. It brings people to your business. It's the play is you hire them, they help put your name in the press, and people are going to come to your store. Hopefully, you do need to have like, it can't just be like random person opens pizzeria named in the press equals customers. It's not like that. Like you genuinely need to have a good story, like doing the pop-up and having that organic success only helps the PR success.
Yeah.
But you can't just get the PR and think that that's going to be customers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is there any cheat codes that you could give like advice to where you wouldn't have to like, you know, does a PR company, are you essentially paying for their connections?
So this is the second part. So when we opened Ghirardelli Square, we hired a bigger firm, and I really respect and like a lot of the individuals that work there. But I would just say that like the PR firm is not a cheat code, right? Like you have to have that organic thing, whatever it's tangible or intangible, that momentum, whatever it is, that has to either be that is being created at the same time you're getting the PR firm, or already is established for it to do anything.
Yeah.
So when we opened Ghirardelli Square, we were like, we hired an expensive firm, and we were like, we want national press, and we want this, and we're pitching all these concepts and stories, and they would be like, yeah, no one wants to write an article about it, you know? So you're like, in your mind or in our minds, we're like, what do you mean? Like, this is cool. Like, local brand goes to like historic, like location, and it's a news. No, it's not, you know? So it's like once you have some of the connections to the press, you can reach out to them yourself.
Yeah.
You can write your own press releases.
Yeah.
You can pitch your own stories.
Yeah.
You don't need unlike some other stuff where maybe you need that middleman to connect you. Like you don't need that middleman. Like you don't need the PR. Like if you have those folks' emails or phone numbers, hit them up. Hey, like whatever, we make our own cheese. I want to like share the recipe. That could be a story in some article. Or hey, whatever. Like think of the things that are unique to your business. They don't even have to be unique in the grand scheme. Like everyone makes dough if they're a good pizzeria. But like maybe because your brand's popular, you can pitch a story that's about your dough recipe and it gets to feature you or someone on your team. Like that's the cheat code, is try to acquire those contacts, and you probably could find them
online.
Yeah.
And I think, I forget, there was a podcast I think I listened to on What's Good Dough where I forget who it was, but it was just like, there is a cheat code in just basically putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, I think
that's a cheat code.
For the longest time, myself, when I was working in purgatory all the time.
Yeah.
I'd always be like, what the fuck? I'm working so hard. I'm never getting written about. And it's like, you never just think like, I should be, where's this attention? Like blah, blah, blah. But you never think that like, you're just not on people's radars.
Yeah.
Like if you're not putting yourself out there, LA, San Francisco, these are big cities. Like you have to fucking put in the work.
I think it's very easily like, if you're on the outside, if you're just looking, oh, that guy got named or this restaurant got, like, it's easy to trick yourself into thinking like there's some intangible thing that gets them the attention.
Yeah.
I promise you it's not. They put themselves out there, or someone who reps them put them out there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a PR, actually, that is exactly what a PR firm does for anybody or a business, is they're going to do the work to put you out there.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that anyone's ever going to write about you.
Yeah.
And that's, you can't, when you work with a PR firm, they can't guarantee you any articles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they will be that one being like, write about them, write about this. They do that for you.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel comfortable doing that or whatever, you'll have less success, but they will. That's their job. That's what you hire them to do, is to put your name out there in that way. But it's definitely better if it comes from you or it's organic, like, for sure.
They're not cheap.
No, but it depends. I think there really are levels to it. Like, no shit. I bet you, especially in a city like LA or San Francisco, could probably put a Craigslist ad like looking for some PR representation. I bet you there's a million people out here, not literally, but like plenty of folks who were in PR. They have the know-how. They still have the contacts. Like, how many times does Janet at the LA Times change her email? It's the same fucking email.
Yeah.
Shout out to Janet.
Yeah.
Is that a real I don't know if that's a real person, but
Probably.
But you know what I'm saying?
Janet,
Like
the LA Times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten quotes from PR agencies and they are wild.
Yes, they are. Well, that's tying it back, is like, it is wild because I don't know why they think that it's that valuable, right?
Yeah.
It's if you could make an equation where it's like, well, they're going to save me this amount of time. My time is worth X, so therefore it's that valuable. But it's a rough one. That's a roundabout way to justify the cost.
Well, can you explain marketing and how it works to me? What works well? Is it? I think that so many people I talk to that own pizzerias have no idea what the fuck they're doing, me included. Is it email marketing that does the best? Is it Instagram? Is it is it collabs that you do? Is it getting written in Eater, SF? Is it like what brings in the most heads and what keeps the most business and like what actually is working? And obviously, I think it's all those things combined. But like, what's the main ingredient of the soup?
Yeah, I think we built all this cool momentum from a pop-up, and we've been riding it since then, really. And like, that's what's unlocked these collabs. But like the collab, for example, like the first one we had was with the NBA player, Jeremy Lin, who used to be on the Knicks, and he is from the Bay Area.
He's on the Lakers too.
Raised in the Lakers. He's an amazing guy. But he just came in and ate the food.
Yeah.
And talk about put yourself out there. Like, I didn't go up to him. I served him. This is back when like me and Danny were just in the shop every day in like 2019. I just treated him like a normal person. And we just had a good conversation. He wasn't like, I'm Jeremy Lin. It was just like good vibe, like normal customer. And then he came back the next day with a different group of friends. And I was like, this is fucking sick, And then he went to overseas to China for his basketball season. Pandemic hits. And then we hired our first GM. And I still was getting every email from Toast every time I got an online order because I was nuts about it. But then I saw like over the summer, he ordered like 5 straight times in a row. But he kept modifying our pizza, which we didn't do during the pandemic. So I emailed him. I was like, hey, like I met you, like, I don't mean to bother you. Like I came correct to him. I wasn't trying to like be like, let me use your success. But I was like, hey bro, like you want this specific pizza? I'll make it for you. Would you consider having a pizza on our menu? And he loved the idea.
Yeah.
And then that got us, we did that. That got us press.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine, my old coworker is the brother of Samin Nosrat, like who is a very famous chef, cookbook author, like lives in Oakland. So there's these things that worked, but it's because we put ourselves out there, if that makes sense. We asked for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I hope Jeremy Lin asked me to collab on a pizza. I was like, I got this guy's email.
You make your own luck.
Yeah, I'm just going to hit him up. I'll be like, yo, bro, you want basil on this pizza that we're not going to do it? I'll fucking do it for you, of course. Yeah. Makes sense. So just, I guess, I don't know. Some of it does come from that like eating shit on stand up and like eating shit on the sales calls. Like, what's the worst you could say? No. I don't think he's gonna like tweet like "fuck Square Pie guys" because they asked me to collect. Like,
Well, that's like where your mind goes, If there's one thing the most powerful lesson, and this podcast has helped me. Like I've had only a couple of guests like say they want to come on, but I've reached out to a lot of people and I get a lot of just left on reds, and like I having put myself out here and writing to Eater LA and trying to get press and not hearing back, like you go to that place in your mind. Are they going to say fuck you? Am I not newsworthy?
Yeah.
Am I a piece of shit? Does my pizza suck? You start second guessing yourself, and it's really just like put yourself out there, and what's supposed to happen happens. But
yeah, for sure. I mean, look, to the point about that specific thing about you writing to Eater about this, like I would actually don't stop doing that stuff, but maybe try to find, like PMQ did a thing on you, right?
Yeah, but PMQ, like there's a difference. PMQ offers a broader audience of people that can kind of see maybe what I'm doing here, and maybe that can make an impact for somebody else hearing the story.
Yeah.
But regarding food proper in Los Angeles, getting written up on those lists, or having somebody from Eater come in here and talk about the food, that generates sales.
Yes, it does. But I guess my question to you is, when you reach out to Eater, are you like, hey, as written in PMQ, like, do you reference that?
No, I never have used that.
You should. I mean, that's the thing. I think actually it's interesting. I think some of the more traditional, the Eaters or whatever, they on some level they actually kind of need more interesting stories. Like if you actually look at their website, it is always like, here's a list, here's this new restaurant. But every once in a while, they're like, here's this feel good story. Like, do that.
Yeah.
Like that. Then they know who you are.
Yeah.
Then you get yourself on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just whatever angle you can get in, just fucking try to work it.
Yeah, no. I mean, what I'm saying too is we have had some success.
Yeah,
it's just like I never would have had it had I not just written the fucking email or found somebody. You know what I mean?
I was getting very specific.
Yeah,
but
no. But I mean, like, just your mind always goes to, is Jeremy Lin gonna fucking tweet, yo, Square Pie Guys sucks. I can't believe they used my email. You know what I mean? Like, you shot your shot.
Yeah.
And like the worst case scenario is probably he just doesn't get back to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, it was national news, and you're on your way to being America's next big pizza chain.
Mm-hmm. You got the 1,000-yard stare. It's pretty good, bro. No, I mean, I also like, not to shit on that quote or whatever. Like, we're trying to do that. We are. I don't know. For some reason, it's like it doesn't feel genuine to say it in that.
Is there a way we could rephrase it that would make you like it more?
Dope pizza worldwide.
That's good.
Yeah. That's it.
Dope pizza worldwide.
Which is also probably cheesy.
Brought to you by Pizza Man 420.
Yeah. And Step Brothers, the movie. Yeah.
And Corto olive oil.
Yes. Wait, I got one for you on the marketing question real quick. Just one thing that one of the I don't want to say secret, but something that we lean into, I think maybe more than other folks, or for good reasons, other folks. I think it's like a natural inclination to be like, I'm not going to pay somebody to get me negative attention, i.e. Yelp, or like, I'm not going to reward someone who puts their hand in my pocket and takes a commission. But I think just try to shape the perspective on those two, like third parties and the Yelps. Those are marketing platforms. Those are places where your customers or your future customers, whatever, they are literally scrolling to find where to eat. Like, you couldn't ask for better placement. That's one of the P's, right?
Yep.
Like, when people talk about real estate, I think really today's day and age is like, that is a valuable digital space to put yourself out there on. It's very competitive, and it is naturally hard to succeed there. And there are some things like DoorDash's algorithm rewards reviews. So if you don't have a lot of reviews, you're never going to rank high, but they want your money. So if you give them your money, you're going to do better. So try to actually just do the math on that and think of like, maybe run some specials that your food cost is good on. You're okay to give that margin away on. So those customers come in the door, and then you can hit them with like a postcard or a discount to bring them back and get them to try more shit that you don't have to pay commission on. But like, we have run a first order 20% off deal for 3 straight years. Like it's been running 3 years straight. Like we have never turned it off. You can put a cap. It's $5 max discount, but I can't tell you how many new customers that brings us every month. I can, but I won't.
And you do the 20% off via Yelp?
Via DoorDash.
Okay. Yes. I think what you're talking about, that switch of like looking at those companies working for you and as marketing vehicles is something that me personally too, I had a hard time, but like once I made that flip, especially it was when I opened this place up, it's like Yelp doesn't have to be this cesspool. It's like I don't have to get angry about every little thing. It's like this is actually a vehicle to catapult sales and get new customers in here, and making that thought change, you know, I think there's a lot of power. I mean, even just paying the $175, I don't know if Square Pilot Guys does it. To be able to just use, like, have your own slideshow,
100%.
your logo,
Yeah.
and like they work with you. I mean,
yeah. Listen, I get it. Again, I really like. I get all that. It makes sense. It's like annoying. It's that kind of embargo you in this way. It's a bit fucked, but like, there's some shit in life you just can't fight, and instead of fighting it, you make it work for you.
If you can't beat them,
Join them.
That's what my dad said that one time. Before we go, I think I have to talk about this. You also run the @pizza account.
Yes.
Your screen time is at 14,000 hours a day. How do you maintain that kind of constant push on social media and not lose your fucking mind?
Well, I do lose my fucking mind for sure. I certainly keep my social media use very pizza focused, which helps to not lose my mind. Like, I'm not diving into world nonsense or other, like, I really avoid it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
All I look at on social media is like car racing shit, 'cause I love car racing, and pizza and cats and dogs sometimes and some humor. But what, you know, I do use social media. You're right.
Yes, sounds like it.
Yeah, but not the news. Fuck the news. Anyway, the pizza account's an interesting one because a lot of the conversations we've been having about like Pizza Expo and sort of like the like whatever I'll call our group of like owners who are tapped into certain stuff, or maybe we think we're cool and we're not, whatever we are, versus like your common like expo goer. I've experienced that on the pizza account, right? Like sometimes I'll work with this, like I'll work with you. Like we did that post way back when I first got the account. And I was like, yeah, this is fucking great comedy, amazing. It's going to do a bajillion views. And it like kind of flopped. And by no fault of any, like amazing, like everything you guys put out, I think is fucking hilarious. But the pizza account is not for the niche pizza nerds. It's for the broad person that takes a tombstone out of their fridge or freezer and cooks that up. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just want to see funny pizza shit for the most part. I took it over and I'm trying to kind of like bring more people over to the dark side or the our side of shit and be like, pizza's cool and you can nerd out on it and there's depth to this and there's great places, but there still should be no judgment. Like I want all that to come through, but it's hard because your message is only good as the reach, and the algorithm and the audience seems to really just want me to like throw a pizza down a water slide into a pool of ranch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that is, how long has that account been around for?
I think since 2015.
Okay.
And I've been running it for like a year and a half.
Yes. So I remember when that account was on the mix. I think Purgatory started following like around 2017.
Yeah.
And I watched it and it was like, oh, the pizza account. It's like, and it was growing and growing. And I remember I didn't know it was you running it, but when you were like, yo, like I want to collab, I took it very seriously. I was like, holy shit, the pizza account is like, he knows because he was at my house on Thanksgiving. I was like, all right, dude, this is the vision. This is what it's going to be. I was going over like multiple real ideas. This is facts. Yeah, I was like very fucking stoked. I was like, what are we going to do? What are we going to fucking do? I had all these things. We're going to do a game show. It's like going to be crazy. Because I was like, it's got to hit because this is a fucking pizza account and I'm going to get 1 billion followers.
Yeah.
And so when we
what was it? Wasn't it the
it
one?
was Jeff the chef.
Call? Yeah.
And
was Jeff the chef your Tony persona, or is it the phone call? Wasn't it the phone call? Oh yeah, the create your own guy, right?
The Tony, there is no Tony persona.
Sorry,
that is my alter ego, number 41. Best pizza world.
Because Tony would be number 1, so you can't.
That's right.
Yeah.
And listen, your success is my success. Okay, don't ever forget that.
Cordo olive oil.
Save your family.
Yeah. Anyway, yes.
So
the create your own
the build your own Jeff the chef. We create the character.
Yes.
We make the reel. I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah,
I upload it. I send it to you.
Printed money. Like,
I'm like, this is it. Like we're fucking taking off. Game over.
Yeah.
I retire, and then I think we got like 100 or like 250 likes, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like, damn, dude. Like, do I suck?
Yeah. Should I retire?
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm still going to retire, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as you said, I think social media has changed so much. Back when we were following, like you were just getting reposts. That's what at Pizza would do.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could take a photo in 2019 and you could get 900 likes on it. Just a beautiful photo. An influencer person could come in, take one photo eating your food, and you could get 5,000 followers in 2 days.
Yeah.
That shit does not happen anymore.
No.
It does not. They don't give a shit. That video could have even gone viral. I mean, I've seen Griffin makes great videos.
Amazing.
So those are like the videos that I think hit. A pizza coming out of a Gosney or an uni or an oven.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not. I wish it was that formulaic because then you could just do that. It's actually the fact that Griffin has posted such a quantity of them that like the algorithm realized that people now like it.
Okay.
And now when he posts, he's hit that like level. It's really, I truly think it is just
consistency.
Doing, you're going to start and get no views. And then if you keep going on the same thing, it may hit, it may not. But if it does, you've like transcended that whatever check that they need. And then now, like, look at Griffin's posts. Like, they're the same thing. They're beautiful. I love Griffin, little boy Griff. So I call him. But
well, it's just like they're quick hitters, and we don't. I just chose Griffin because he came up, and it's.
But he's killing it. No, but he actually is fucking killing it.
There's a lot.
What about the pizza fart guy?
I was gonna say pizza art.
Pizza fart.
Yeah, piece of art.
Yeah,
that dude's awesome.
Yeah,
and he's from here too.
Yeah.
But consistency, and I think he has 100,000 followers.
116,
now. And that went quick. And you're probably right. That's consistency. But it's good lighting.
Yep.
The pizzas look good.
Yep.
They sound good.
Well, he found that niche, right? That like huge slice, and he's pulling the two pieces, and like.
Well, and the sound.
Yeah.
I could listen to some of his posts. Just listen to them. But I do feel like tight shots on pizza. I just look at what really hits. Shit tons of pepperoni.
Yep.
Wild vodka pizzas.
Yeah.
Like the really over the top pizzas. Like always have like fucking 1,500 likes
that guy,
at least.
There's a guy in like the Hudson Valley of New York, Pizza Mia or something like that. But he does like the garlic knot crust.
Yeah.
Kills it.
Yeah. Well, look, Tony Baloney's, when I talked to him, his post of that like that meat pizza he did that had just like a mountain of pepperoni.
Yeah.
He had 2 million views on fucking in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Like
insane.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think it's like you actually have to dumb it down a bit before like the high concept stuff that actually is creative and genuinely funny. I think not that you have to assess for yourself if it's a good use of your time, but if you're posting 3 of those a day, I think it would click at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just takes a shit ton of time.
Yeah. It would be hard to do 3 of those a day. I mean, me and Matt talked about the idea of doing reels more focused on like, because there's things where I'm almost making fun of my customers on hot tongue.
And they love that.
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they do, but sometimes
that
like,
one where you guys murdered the cow.
Yeah,
that was great. Yeah, that was a sick one.
There's my
people love that one.
No, that's in January when we put pepperoni on the menu. But when it's at their expense, it's like somebody's like, "Do you hate your customers?" But it's like I just did the first one for Pie to Pie. I did a reel that was just about like an uni person.
Yeah,
you know, we have 500. We have 500 followers, but that reel had close to 10,000 views. That's a lot. That's a big reach for 500 followers.
Totally.
But it's the niche crowd. You know what I mean? And then it's those pizza shops that are really sharing it. You know, and that's where. Sometimes it's not a number thing. It's just who are you selling it to and what's the audience. And I felt like that Jeff the Chef, like I think that took us 2 hours to make.
Right.
And it just wasn't the right audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, everything you're saying about I DM'd you, I had that same exact experience on Square Pie Guys, because like they reposted just some of our photos, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
And I was like, Danny, dude, like we did it, you know what I mean? So I get all that, and especially running it, like to your point about not going crazy. When someone sends me something that I think is like fire and like funny or great quality or amazing pizza or a good story, it doesn't seem to hit. I'd say I follow this guy. I think his name is Brock Johnson. His whole thing is
that's good.
It's a good name.
That's like Jack Harlow.
He's on my website.
Jack Harlow, Brock Johnson.
Anyway,
BrockJohnson.com.
No, he's on Old Jewish Grandma's.
Yeah, it sounds like he would be. Brock Johnson.
Yeah, I'm here to fix your yarmulkes. Whatever. He look him up. He basically just coaches people on Instagram, and he did a carousel like yesterday. His average reel is 9.6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like he said on average is like 2 to 4 like pieces of text max. Like, so make it work for you is kind of the thought.
Yeah.
I have a lot of work to do at pizza. Like I wish I could spend more time figuring out how to make that work and hit more frequently. I have to curate content. That's the biggest workload, is hitting everybody up and getting people to contribute. And I try to splice in my own content. Like we have a contractor that works for Square Pie Guys that I pay him for the pizza account too, that does my edits.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I feel like, let's say I did an app pizza video for here, it probably should be like 15 seconds max. It's like, here's the pizza, here's the vibe, here's someone eating it, or here's it going in ranch.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I think 9 seconds is like actually like
the sweet spot.
That's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because you can fit a lot into 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's enough that like people almost don't have enough time to slide up.
Yeah. I feel like I would love to see. I want to do it more for Square Pie Guys, because our editor does more like, we do like a lot of cap cuts and some TikTok, which we're throwing a lot of shit at the wall. I think that was the old approach, is like throw a lot of shit at the wall, see what, like do a cool picture, do a feature of your team. Like you kind of have to like pick one lane.
Yeah.
And stick to it.
Yeah.
In this algorithm. Yeah.
It is tough because it can become a full-time job, especially when you're
it is a full-time
reels.
job. Yeah.
And I can't put out something that like I don't think looks perfect, and I don't know. And what you can do with an iPhone now, dropping something into cinematic view, Matt showing me that I can do 4K, 60 frames a second. It's like you're fucking with the right lighting.
It's insane.
Yeah, you're shooting in a small feature film.
100%. Honestly, it'd be cool if you, I don't know, you have to think of a brand name or something, but if you did like pizza industry comedy would be like the bucket, because all the tropes that you play on are fucking hilarious. There is an audience for it.
Yeah.
But I think when you Instagram, this place is a business account, it's a pizza place, and you're putting out comedy, like they're not sending you those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're like a creator account that's doing this and you're tagging other pizza shops, I bet you those, even if you just
you think I would have more success doing that than doing it just like more on Pie to Pie?
Maybe it could be Pie to Pie, but I'm just saying a specific page where you're just talking about the industry, and you could I would, if I were you, I would experiment. Don't even reshoot take all those old videos and just post them there under this specific theme and see if they do better.
Interesting.
Because I kind of feel like they might.
Yeah.
Because they are like, the reason I want to talk to you and the reason I respect and appreciate you and what you're doing is you put out good shit, man. It's funny. It's well thought out. It resonates, especially anyone who works in the pizza industry, whether you're a line cook or an owner, or a server, you get that humor. There's somebody on YouTube. His whole thing is, I wonder if you've seen these. He has a fake restaurant and he wears the wigs of like the customer and
the bagel guy.
I'll try to find it, but all he does is just like restaurant tropes, like the customer that asks for the steak medium and then you bring it out medium and he's like, I want to see it raw, and sends it like whatever. Think of a trope. He has 100 videos on it and they're all YouTube shorts and he's got millions of followers. He just did one subset. Like there are people doing skits and bits, and it's a thing.
but you just can't.
I'm doing it wrong.
You can't just do it from like it's you're not just, but you can't do it from this pizzeria and be like people are going to come to my pizzeria because they think I'm funny. Is that, you know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, the reels that we have posted here have a lot of time, and when we're doing it consistent, we have brought people in, especially when there was a couple. I was doing real good at it, maybe pushing out 3 a week.
Yeah,
we were getting people in here being like, "Yo, your reel popped up, and like that's how we found out about you," and like so we wanted to come try the
amazing.
pizza. So
yeah, I'm sure it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I just mean like
for growth,
to get the views or whatever.
I mean, like I'm like trying to get out of this fucking pizza shit and become an Instagram star.
Yeah,
and like social media and stuff. So
yeah.
So we can talk off camera.
Got you. Yeah,
secrets for that.
I haven't figured it out.
No, you got the secrets.
I have some thoughts.
This restaurant shit is fucking whack.
It's hard, dude. It's hard. That's why I use quarter olive oil.
Before my restaurant just was terrible, and I used to yell and hit my staff. Then I started using Corto, and the only thing that slaps is the olive oil.
Hey.
Okay.
Nice. Good work. Way to go.
Let's wrap this up a little bit.
Thank you.
Is there a failure in your career that you can share that taught you something, that you carry?
Again, it's this perspective from the comedy attempt. If like all you do is fail, all you do is like go up there and suck, so just keep driving forward. I think for me, like the very first pop-up I did it with a Uni 3, which took wood chips.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my buddy Jeff, who is that very talented chef who like taught me how to make pizza. I talked about off camera.
Yeah.
Thank God he was there helping me. But that was like so much work, right? To go from my home oven to this pop-up at the back of this bar. I pitched all these bars, and finally one was like, yeah, well, you can put your little oven here, whatever. And I think I maybe broke even. In fairness, I was also going through like a really rough part of my life but point being, like, I got home that night and like took the money out of the till, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I like broke down, and it was just like a little bit of a dark moment. But I don't know. I don't think that answers the question though. It was just like a moment where I was like, man, this is like, I had this idea that it's gonna be this like romantic, everyone's gonna like love it, and it was a complete flop,
Yeah.
So the lesson there is just like kind of, if you really think you love it or whatever, keep going for it. We talked about this with the whole business partnership thing. It's like a crazy lesson to learn about how to figure out the division of responsibilities and who should do what and how to work with somebody. That was a very big, I wouldn't say it was a failure, because Square Pot Guys is definitely not a failure, but I don't know. Yeah, got me deep in my feelings, bro.
That's what this is about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of I want to give an answer that people could like learn something from.
I mean, I think that's
Do you
great.
have a failure that you want to talk about on my podcast?
Man, this one I don't think has been reversed. I've had a lot of failures. I think a lot of the reason I wanted to start this podcast is to kind of for therapeutic reasons, to be able to off camera and on camera talk about other people's struggles, because it has been lonely, especially as an owner. My wife has gotten to know the most of it, but there's still a lot of things that she can't understand because she's not here day in and day out.
Yeah.
And like when a pipe breaks and you have no money in the bank and it's $22,000 and you have to close down for 4 days and you don't know what you're going to do, and you send everybody home and you're sitting in the dining room, like you're bawling.
Yeah.
And you call your sister because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, I had so many moments like that where I didn't really have a network or somebody to kind of guide me. Not that my sister wasn't a great, and my brother-in-law helped out so many times, but I have failed up. Everything I do is more of a failure than it is a success. I think there's success in that. I don't know if that even makes sense, but
yeah, that's how I feel. I totally agree with that. Thank you for sharing too.
Yeah.
I think that's the general vibe in the restaurant industry. Like even us, like same thing. The reason I want to open more stores and keep doing these ghost kitchens is because like I haven't figured out how to like get to the point where I feel like I'm like ready to spend less hours on it and like not work on it every single day. Like ultimately I just want to like feel secure enough to go have a normal life. Does that make sense? And like Square Pot Guys isn't necessarily there yet.
Yeah.
I think some of it's amazing it's a huge success that for like a lot of our team members, we provided that, but like it's mostly failing and just always figuring shit out.
Yeah.
All the time.
I read this thing every morning, like these self-affirmations at 7 a.m., you know, just like really generic shit. But like one of them is, and remember to enjoy the process.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? And like so much of being an entrepreneur is like you're always striving to get to one goal.
Yeah.
And sometimes you forget how much fun and pain it is from the start to the end. And really like the most generic shit is everyone's like, it's not about the destination. It's the journey.
No.
And so really trying to be like, okay in the pain.
Yeah.
And finding the lessons and finding the joy in like every day, even the ones that suck ass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know about you, but like sometimes like right now we're going through some nonsense with a crazy repair bill from a landlord that I think is complete bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Like I was fucking pissed about it and I'm trying to figure out ways to fight it off. But like I just had a slice of our cheese pie in that moment and I was like, oh yeah, like I don't know if that ever happens to you. Just like eat your own pizza. You're like,
I mean, I actually, that's like one of the things that I love the most.
Yeah,
it's like it can really, it's like anything that's kind of snaps you out of it.
Yeah,
and being like,
yeah.
oh man, like, because you know what that is? That's the taste of hard work.
yeah,
You know, when you can still bite into it and be like, fuck,
yeah,
God, that is good.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Last question. What or who
I'm laughing because I listened to your podcast.
is the greatest artist or
Weird Al
fan
Yankovic
of
No,
all
just-
time?
No, I think my first concert was Audio Slave. So Chris Cornell. I saw them at MSG, and that blew my fucking mind.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the greatest of all time, but like that was a pivotal like music moment for sure. That was a sick fucking concert.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you a Soundgarden fan?
I didn't even know Soundgarden existed. Does that make like I was like 15 and I was like, oh, Audio Slave is cool.
Damn.
And then like 2 years later, I was like, that's the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine. Like I'm not like a music head, you know what I mean?
Apparently not. No.
But I
It's
just
like literally Rage Against the Machine with Chris Cornell.
that's right, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just once I then dove into Soundgarden and like, yeah, I have like a lot of like respect
Yeah.
for that guy. It's very sad too, but
Yeah, that was a tragedy.
Yeah.
That dude was a big talent. He had a lot more talent to shine too.
for sure. But you know, music's one of those funny things where like talk about judgments and people just having like opinions for no reasons.
Yeah.
I feel like when like, you know, you go to college or, you know, people who are very into music and I get exposed to them for the first time. They're like, same question, like a more friendly way. Like, oh, we're listening to I'm like Audio Slave. And they're like, Audio Slave. Like that, fuck that. Like, it's what? Like, I don't think there's anything in my life that I get that people judge you in that way. You know what I mean? Where you're like, I like this. They're
Yeah,
like, fuck,
maybe pizza.
fuck you.
Or food, yeah. Well, dude, they're like music gatekeepers.
Yes.
It's like you're right. It is the weirdest thing. I mean, like I've done it myself in like, oh, like whatever you like that, but like I don't know. I mean, I love Coldplay.
Yeah.
You know, and I love Aesop Rock. I love like I love music. And
Yeah,
it's weird to be judged. But, you know, to say like, yo, like I like Evanescence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I to this day, my fiance and I sometimes like just sing. I'm blanking on the song. What's that famous?
Wake me up.
Yeah. We're just like, wake me up inside. It's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
we should just be appreciated for what. It doesn't have to be anything bigger or small. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know why when people judge you about music. I guess as now like in my mid 30s, I don't care. But like there's like that's a half my life when someone's like, you like this band, you're like, oh, what? Am I weird? Like, you know what I mean? It's like puts you immediately on this like, what the fuck?
Well, it's judgment. I mean, it goes back to like people are really limiting themselves because it's like what are the reasons you don't like it?
Yeah.
Is it because it's popular? Is it because it was on the radio too much?
Yeah.
Or like is because you have to respect it. It's
I like
good
when people's
music.
reasons are like oddly deep. They're like, well, like they were talented, but then they're not, and they sold it. It's like, what? So you think they're good, but because they're successful, fuck them? Like,
Yeah, but
What?
inside they're like, yo, that song slaps.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you mentioned on the Pizza Pilgrims one, Dave Matthews Band.
I love Dave Matthews Band.
Dude, their live albums, insane.
they're incredible musicians,
Yeah.
and their live show is just like, their live shows are like none other. Like I said, I'd go to like a 3-day festival in the Gorge, Eastern Washington.
Hell yeah, the
3
Gorge.
days in a row.
Yeah.
And
Sasquatch.
Yep. And they would play a different set 3 days. And so every concert I went to was different.
Yeah.
And there, you don't get that when if I go to a Mac DeMarco show, it's going to vary. There'll be some variations, but the set list is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I saw Blink 182 and I was stoked and I thought they would do something like that. But to find out that their show
Doesn't
is
change.
the same every city.
Yeah,
you know, I loved that because that's to me true artistry.
Yeah.
Is that like, hey, what's the set list today, boys?
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's cool.
Hey, is Carter Buford just going to go on a fucking 15-minute drum solo?
Insane.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They shows they have passion still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, I was a big Chili Peppers fan. I still am.
Yeah.
And their live stuff can be pretty amazing. They definitely went through a phase with like John Frusciante and you know what I mean? But like same exact idea. At some point in my life, I was like, oh, I like the Chili Peppers. And everyone's like, what a dweeb. Like, you like the Chili Peppers? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from?
Californication and By the Way are two of like the most
Yeah.
incredible albums, I think.
Agreed.
Californication like was one of the albums that was like
Are those back to back, right?
Yeah. I listened to that album and I was like, I'm fucking moving to Los Angeles.
Wow.
Like this is Los, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I loved the Dave Navarro era of the Chili Peppers. Like they get a lot of shit. It's just because they're big. It's like the same thing with Foo Fighters. You just get written off because you're so fucking big.
Yeah.
They have so many great songs.
Hipsters, bro. It's like
It's cool to not like the cool thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the more obscure like you are.
It's literally
everyone
hipsters.
likes to feel special.
Yeah.
And that's their way of feeling special.
You're not.
No one's special.
Unless. Okay, never mind.
What?
Quarter olive oil.
You're not special unless you're using Corto olive oil.
They're going to sponsor you now. I think so.
All right. Where do we go to get in touch?
Square Pie Guys at Pizza, PizzaMan420, marketsquarepieguys.com, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Oakland,
What's your
California.
LinkedIn?
It's just Marc Schechter. It's a very professional headshot of me. Like,
No, it's good.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Come to Square Pie Guys.
And then how do you get on the pizza account? Do they just if
Honestly,
people want their content?
it's a good question. I got reamed out by some guy in Italy who emailed me a bunch of times and was like kind of rude, and I just ignored him. And then he emailed me. He's like, "Why do you have this fucking email if you don't respond?" And I was like, "Please stop emailing me." He's like, "Oh, you do respond, fucking at pizza content." And he like reamed me out. And I was like, "That's not how you do it." Let me just be clear about
Okay.
it.
All right.
Just
don't do that.
I think the truth of the matter is yes, do a little research on your phone settings. Like it's really hard for me to post like blurry ass stuff. Like even if I've actually coached like at least 20 pizzerias through how to find and put the phone in 4K and film in HD because I want to feature their stuff.
Step 1, come correct.
Step 1, come correct. Do your research, bro. Don't fuck around with it.
So your content needs to be good.
It needs to be, doesn't have to be, I don't think you need to like hire an editor or just like, I've edited people's shit too, like, but just have quality, like, again, you have the tool in your pocket.
Let's go do a play-by-play.
Yeah.
Just, let's do.
You want me to, you trying to wrap this up?
No, I want to do a play. Should we? We're going into our fourth hour.
Get into this.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm a pizzeria.
Yes.
I say, hey, I want to be on.
Hey,
I'm Alex.
yeah.
I want to I got cool pizzas. How do I get on? I want 1,000 followers in one day. What do you say back to me?
It doesn't happen that way.
You say that? You say,
Yeah,
hey, Alex, it doesn't happen that way.
No, I would say, hey, Alex, like, cool, thanks for reaching out. Like, for obviously, I look at the page.
Page is fire.
Page is fire. Yeah. Email me your favorite reel.
You'd say, okay, you have great content. I would like send me a reel.
Yeah. My preference is to post the reel and collab back with the pizzeria because then it counts towards the pizza page's stats.
Yeah.
But I accept collabs.
Okay. How do I send a reel?
Try to download the file and
How do I download a file?
Bro, do your fucking research. Come correct. Come correct, bro. What are we talking? No. I'll send someone a link to how to do it on their iPhone.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, send good content. There's only 7 days in a week, and I pretty much post once a day, maybe max twice. So you know what I mean? Like,
Would you say it's pretty easy to get on the At Pizza page?
I think it's easier than it ever has been.
Okay.
The one thing I would say is like, here's a couple, I'll give some disclaimers, right? Like rather than how to, because if you do send me a good video, I'm more inclined to post it. But like people send me shit all the time. Like it's a good video. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I think it's going to do well. And then at the end, it's like their overlay of their logo and like their menu. And like, that's not what this page is. This page isn't like going to your specific region. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like it is to promote your brand, but in like I'm not like saying the pizza page and Francesco's in fucking Belmont, New York are buddies.
Yeah.
In that way. Does that make, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So try to just keep it. It's about pizza primarily. It's about good pizza, people having fun with pizza. The more creative you are, the better shot you have. Like there's a guy in Pennsylvania, Sean from A Slice in New York, did that. He put that whole skit about throwing the pineapple pizza in the trash, and it's like 30 million views.
Yeah, that's pretty funny fucking. It's pretty funny.
He just like did something funny, and he's like, "What do you think?" I was like, "100%." You know, it wasn't. Yeah, make it easy for me. I don't want to even think about it.
Don't try to be funny if you're not, though.
No, do try.
Yeah.
Try and fail, and no one will judge you.
I think I saw it on At Pizza, like the patio pizza.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean that content.
That's the answer to the question. Go follow that guy.
Yeah. But that's it. It felt like something new. Like he set up his shot and he created this narrative of like running a pizza shop by yourself. And it's just like the simplicity of his shots and him stacking his dough and doing some olive oil, and then he wraps it up. It's like,
yeah. Thank you for mentioning that.
It's like, man, what the? I watched 15 seconds and I felt like I just spent the day with this guy.
Yes, that guy's a great. He's gone a little above and beyond for sure.
Yeah.
And the barrier to entry for pizza isn't that.
Yeah.
But that is a great example. Forget At Pizza. If you want to build your page, he's taken sort of one theme, and he's posting it consistently, and he's doing it really well.
Yeah.
And he's telling a unique story. Like that guy, Patio Pizza, I think his name's Alim. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Like,
and you think he uses the GTA font, which I really
like
too.
He does.
Yeah.
He made a video for At Pizza.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, he wasn't going to put an overlay on it. I was like, use the GTA font. I think it's sick. But yeah, look, the short answer is try to have a full-size file. Like, you know, like when you email something, it gets compressed. That kind of irks me because it hurts the quality.
Yeah, well, okay. It's gonna compress it if you just send it via Gmail. But like if you do me share, like
WeTransfer, Dropbox, Google Drive, anything, upload it. Don't put your logo on it in like a weird way. Don't
watermark.
Yeah. Sometimes people will invite me to collab and they'll be like, "How come you haven't accepted my collab?" And I look at their caption and it's like, "Tuesdays and Thursdays at Jeff's, $15 off when you buy a 2-liter soda." Like, I'm not promoting that.
Yeah, it's got to be generic.
Yeah, or it's just exactly. It's got to be about pizza. So that's my thought. And while you and I have both been guilty on the other end of being like, this is gonna make or break, it's not. Like, it might pop, it might not.
Yeah.
But it's cool. My goal is to put local pizzerias out there as much as I can.
Yeah, and I think mainly what it's doing too is I think it helps build community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mark, thank you for spending 6 hours with me.
You're welcome.
This podcast has been our longest and one of the most enjoyable for me.
I wish I could say the same thing.
No cap. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. It was not mutual, I had a great time.
No, it's great. It's a lot of fun, dude. Keep doing your thing. Please keep doing your thing. And no cap's a funny phrase. It's like one of the funny new phrases. But I mean, like, don't put a cap on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the YouTube short. Like, try these different avenues. There's nothing holding you back, bro. And you do good stuff.
Those are facts.
Yeah.
No cap.
No cap.
On flight.
Has anyone ever told you dress like Mac DeMarco?
No one has graced me with that comment, but I thank you.
You're welcome.
I only wear Carhartt because I'm working on myself.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, hell yeah.
And it's on Amazon. That's where
Do you ever
shop.
listen back to hear all the little, like, you throw out like a bunch of slogans without even realizing it?
I usually don't listen back
that's
to
a
myself.
T-shirt. You could have a terrible T-shirt.
I'm pretty
business.
sure it's like somebody made a jacket that's like, I only wear Carhartt because I'm working on myself. I think I stole that from the internet, but we'll edit that out and it's gonna sound like it came from me. Anyways, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much, dude.
Cool, bro.
Later.
I wanna go down. I just wanna be here. I just wanna be now. I don't wanna miss out.